Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I'm down at the repair shop. It's the start of a new week. You can see the barn in the background. It's going to be a good week. Little bit of a Ranalah update now. I've got, God, it's heavy. This camera's a lot heavier than the old one. My arm. We're still trying to figure out these lower wheels. I think the best solution would be to find a nice original set. Hang on, let me swap arms. Oh man. The best solution, I think, would be to find a nice original set of low wheels and get them contour traced and work from there. But the problem is I can't find a nice original set of lower wheels. They've all been used, and as soon as they've been used and potentially modified, there's no way of proving that they haven't been modified over the years. So what I'm doing basically is the original four wheels that I took down to Jeff, we're just taking a millimetre or two off of each one and just reprofiling them to try and keep costs down, and it's obviously quicker as well. It reduces the machining time just to cut a new profile in the top of the wheel. The lower flat wheel I think is working really nice. I've got that, that's the one I've already shown you. And this week Derek is cutting two more from DK Holdings. They're going to be posted down to me this week. And I'm so anxious to have a look. I feel like we've cracked it. I really feel like we've got it this time. We've redrawn the profile, we've put a slightly higher crown in the middle. We've just tweaked bits because it was picking up in the corners. I really want to get these perfect. They're kind of the soul of the machine, and if they're not right, the end user is going to be blaming the machine. Oh, those new Ranalahs, they're no good because look, they're ribbing up the panel and they're marking the panel. And I don't want that. I want them to be perfect. The rest of the machines are so perfect and I'm so chuffed with them all. I'm just really struggling with these lower wheels, but we're getting closer and closer. Every time we cut a new profile, we're getting a little step closer. So I guess it's just R&D, testing, trialing, testing. Luckily, I don't know if I'm going to have time, but hopefully, oh God, I need to swap arms again. There's a lot of ifs and maybes at the moment. Derek still has to cut both wheels, then he's got to post them down to repair shop, then I've got to fit the bearings and the axles, which I've brought down, and hopefully that all happens before the end of the week. If it does, of course, I'll film it and I'll show you the results of the new set of wheels, because I've actually also got a Ranalah down here. I'm not sure if you've seen that. If you haven't, well, actually, if you don't watch the show, you wouldn't have known, but I've got another original Ranalah down here. It's not in the best condition, but it's certainly all we need to test these wheels. So I've brought a piece of aluminium down on the axles for the wheels. So if Derek at DK Holdings comes through and we get that delivery with the new wheels, we'll have a go. I'll cut a piece of aluminium, put it through the Ranalah here and see what we can come up with. This top wheel is absolutely knackered. All this pitting. It's such a shame. That's an original top wheel, but sadly this is what a lot of original machines look like these days. Quite a common problem with these Ranalahs is they've been misused over the years basically, and there's a lot of play. There's movement where the babbitt is set into the casting here. That is not ideal. I was having a go with the high crown wheel, which is so close. I mean, it's pretty much there. It's very good. Well, there's going to be three wheels: an almost flat wheel, a middle of the road wheel, and then a high crown wheel. That's in principle all you'd really need to do 99% of the jobs. The lower wheel, I think we've nailed. We've got it. It works really well. It's really nice. The high crown wheel and the middle of the road wheel, they both arrived, actually the middle of the road, the second wheel, the middle wheel, arrived a few days ago. I've already tested it and played with it, realised it's not quite right, and then redone it and sat with Paul again. We've done another drawing, and Derek at DK Holdings has got the drawings to cut another one already. I won't lie, it is quite a frustrating process going through this, but because it's costing me so much money every time. And I just want to get it done, I just want to get it sorted out. But I want these wheels to be absolutely perfect, as best as I can possibly get. They are the soul of the machine. When you're using these machines, how they feel and how they work and how successful they work is really dependent on these lower wheels, so it's worth the effort now to get them right. But I was out here playing with it the other day, and Pete came along and was just like, oh Don, what are you up to? What are you doing? How does this thing work? And well, you all know Pete, you've seen the video. If you haven't seen the video, the interview with Pete, go back down through the archives of the YouTube channel and have a look, because you should watch it. He's a fascinating guy. He's very, very knowledgeable. Whenever any of us get stuck with anything here, he is the go-to man. A lot of the time with metalwork or anything like that, he just knows so much. He's had a lifetime of experience, but he has never had a go at wheeling. Pete, what's literally the first thing I told you yesterday?
Don't keep zigzagging.
Start at one edge.
Start one edge.
But not on the edge though. Wait, just away from the edge. But start at one end.
Hold on, I'm having trouble with my steering.
Yeah.
I can't get my steering right on.
It's all backwards. No, you're wiggling it around, Pete.
Wiggling it.
Don't jump to the other end now. You need to keep starting. You've got to commit. You've started at one end.
Can't I join up in the middle?
No, it doesn't work like that. Yeah, you can put a bit more pressure than that.
Bit more pressure. Right.
Bit more than that. A little bit more. Okay, try that.
Try that.
Let's start at the edge. There you go. Let's take it out. See how close they are together. Look at your first zigzags. There's nearly an inch between each one.
Right, so we don't sort of move it.
No, you don't steer it.
You don't steer it, you just keep going.
Mind your thumb.
Ouch! I can't believe that we're taking much, because there's so little pressure there.
Yeah. Well, you can. It's got therapeutic, isn't it?
It is actually, yes.
If you come out there, just crank the pressure up. Go on up. Out to you. Go on. We do that. Changing shape?
Well, I didn't think we moved it that much. I thought
we're being gentle. That's why.
Yeah.
But that's certainly not flat anymore.
It's got a crown to it.
It has, no? I mean, it's like a hammer. It's doing the same thing as a hammer.
Yeah.
Like a rolling hammer, basically, yeah.
But very gently compared to a hammer.
Yeah, that's how you get that nice mirrored finish. What?
No.
Oh, come right at the end. Come on.
Dude,
You know,
right up
yeah, but you need that hand clear. You're going to lose your thumb. It's got to be one pass all the way across. Oh my! Where are you off to now? Let's have a look.
You can feel through the stiffness of it. It's bending.
Look.
Yeah. I did get nice little lines though.
You see on the back. That's where you can see. Yeah, see that? All those tracking marks. They're okay. They're nice and close. See all those little dots. Any little, that's why it's so important. That's why I'm so precious about the wheels, because any little imperfection, a bit of ding, a bit of rust,
shows up.
Every time you pass through, look, every time you put the wheel through, going that way, dum 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 dum, those 6 marks, every single time.
And did they only use aluminium for it? Or
No, you can put steel in it. Yeah.
And copper?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I've never tried.
That's what
do you think? Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a different way for me to work metal. I'm just having trouble getting my head round what I'm doing, sort of thing. Yeah.
It's cool, isn't it? You can feel the shape, the amount of shape, and that's already quite a lot.
Yeah.
It's nice and smooth.
See, with a hammer, I'd be reducing the sides down.
Yeah, which you'd still do if you're making a hot. Eventually, the edges will need shrinking if you're trying to tip it around.
Yeah.
But you need to put the shape in the middle first.
But then I'd have had to planish it all out.
Because it'll all be dented.
With this, it's ready.
Nice and smooth. Yeah.
Quick upgrading, put the paint on and
Done. Yeah.
off for tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on, back in there. Carry on.
Back in there.
Right, I'm going to go and have lunch. I'll leave you to it.
Oh, thanks very much. Are you sure I'm allowed to fly this on my own? To me, it's backwards steering.
Yeah.
That's where I'm having trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. The steering is backwards.
Yeah. Your steering's backwards.
The steering's backwards. I reckon set up the machine wrong on purpose for me. You
More
know.
than likely, yeah.
He's got reverse steering.
Yeah.
Well, he don't want anybody else to look too good on it.
No, well, that's the problem, isn't it? Yeah, yeah.
Pete, I see you've adopted a slightly different position.
Yes, yes,
Sitting down is, yeah.
yes. I can actually see more of what I'm doing sitting, which is great because you don't get your fingers caught many times.
You keeping the lines nice and close together?
Ah, now that's a secret. That is definitely a secret that I'm keeping between myself and my bit of metal. It's just that little tweak at the end of every one to get it going the right way. No, you see, I've gone the wrong way.
Have you had a go at this before, David?
No.
No.
No. I've seen one being used, but no, never had a go.
And you thought it was lovely, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you
That was a few
what a
years
great
ago, that
idea,
was.
as long as I haven't got to do it.
Yeah, that's it. But it is funny when you see something like this and you're instantly thinking, what could I use that for? I'm sure I could, if I had one, I could find a use for it.
You'll be trying to flog you one next. Be careful, mate. Could end up costing you a fortune.
Yeah.
Have a go.
Oh, God.
And don't muck up me lines.
No, that's right.
I
No.
tell you now, they are straight. Whatever you say.
He's getting precious over his piece of metal now. That's
It'll
it.
end up the other way up if I had a go. So I suppose you
Nice.
zigzag it, do you?
It's nice and slow, all the way up till maybe an inch off the edge.
But you got to steer it, haven't you?
You got to steer it, but you got to keep the lines like overlapping, basically, nice and close together. Look how slow he is. Look, compared to you, Pete. He's nice and controlled. He's taking his time, nice and
Well, I
cautious.
don't know about controlled.
Look, nice and gentle. You're steaming into it.
Hey, but I was starting to get up speed.
It is tricky remembering which way you come from and which way you're going to.
I'll tell you what I found helps, Dave.
Yeah.
If you stick your tongue out. as
Yeah,
you're thinking.
I do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is such a weird situation. With usually I'm around these two, and there's not a single thing they can't do or solve or know the answer to. But they're both struggling. They can't do it. I've never seen David Burville struggling to do anything.
This is new technology, you see. I'm not this advanced.
I don't know. 1930s, not that new, but yeah. Well, okay, let's whip it out. Let's have a look. State of that. No, you know what? Look.
That ain't bad. Come on.
Is it? No.
It ain't.
You can see what it's taking the shape, though, isn't it? Look.
We are for two rank amateurs.
Yeah.
Are we proud of that, Dave?
I think so, yeah. I think so,
we're-
yeah.
Look, look,
Yeah.
look,
I think we ought to.
we're
I think
proud
we
of
ought to-
that. That's us.
I think a week or two has gone past since I've last filmed. The last thing I filmed was the second wheel, the middle wheel, and I'm completely happy with that. I've got the high crown wheel now, which is looking really good. So I think in this little box that I've got here at the end of the bench, this is the final set of wheels. I've lost count now. I think how many times I've actually recut these sets of wheels and how many we've made and reprofiled, but I'm very proud to say that I think the three in this box here, this is it. I've got a little sample here that I've been playing with on the Ranalah that I've got here at the barn, down at the repair shop, and obviously you've seen Pete and David Burville have had a go. They've tried. I'm chuffed. I think I'm really pleased. This is it. Look at the sample that I've made. Look at this little piece. Made this with these 3 wheels on that Ranalah here over my lunch breaks and early mornings. So there's a fair amount of shape in that. But the thing that I've been looking for is any ripples. The main problem I've had with these wheels is they've kind of left, as you start to get a crown in the sort of shape in the panel, it's not picking up in just the center, it's sort of picking up on the edges and causing the panel to sort of ripple almost and become almost corrugated. Very, very slight. Like literally 80 grit sandpaper would have taken it out, but that's not the point. I really want these wheels to be as perfect as Jeff's wheels. And I think we've nailed it. Look at that. Right, well there we go. I'm walking back up the lane. It's been a while since I filmed walking up this lane. It's been a good week. It's actually been probably about 2 weeks since this video has been sort of pieced together. But I tell you what, I am relieved that the R&D and development of these lower wheels for the Ranalahs is finally, well, hopefully over. The next step is to get Derek at DK Holdings to cut a whole new set, and then I'm going to send those down to Jeff Moss at MPH Motor Panels, so he can put them through his paces, because just because I think they're nice, obviously I would quite like to have Jeff approve them, but the fact that I've sort of managed to make that panel so smooth and nice and even, I'm chuffed. I'm really, really chuffed. And the best thing is that between myself and Paul, who's been working with me with the 3D drawings, we've got a kind of a formula now. So we've not just traced original wheels and replicated originals, we've actually got a system and a formula that works and is proven now that we can adapt. So in theory we could adapt that formula if somebody wants even higher crown wheel or an even flatter wheel or somewhere in the middle for some specific job. We can adapt the formula that we've got, make a bespoke wheel that will definitely work because it's proven. There's more news actually. You know, the pedestal, the cast iron pedestal stand that I was talking about is finished. So Mikey, the pattern maker, has made a beautiful pattern. It's the first one, the test one has been cast. It's done, it's sandblasted, and it's still at the foundry. I haven't got it yet. So I need to work on that 10mm thick steel top plate with a hardy hole, the sort of square hole cut in it for the stake. But it's so close. It's an awesome thing. I can't wait to make them available to anybody out there with their sheds and their small workshops, or their big workshops to be fair, that wants one of these pedestals, because I'm really pleased and I can't wait to get my hands on it and see what it actually looks like and get it painted up. So I'm heading back home now. I'm going to be at the workshop all weekend, and you know what? Throughout this week I've ordered a brand new starter motor and a few other bits for the camper van, and I cannot wait to get back to the workshop tomorrow morning first thing and get those things installed and see if I can actually start it up for the first time. I promise you though, it's not a project. So I've cleared the workshop out, made some space to wheel this in and get it in on the lift, get it up in the air, do everything I need to underneath. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the starter motor will solve the problem and it will run, and then I can start using it. But that's all I can do today because I need to get going, because I need to keep going with these Ranalahs. Look, 2 more Ranalahs, as well as the 1, 2, 3, 4, oh my god, I've got so many now, there's so many. But anyway, look, I'm making space in the workshop, and here's a little clue as to what's coming next week. I'm not going to spoil it now. You'll have to wait till next week's video to find out what those 2 Ranalahs outside are doing and what these 3 are doing standing here, and why on earth there's a bright blue one, and I can tell you already that one is going to be an even more shocking colour. We've got Lucia coming down from the repair shop to give me a hand. It's going to be good. Oh, hey, okay, whilst I'm here, I can show you something new that if you follow me on Instagram, you'll have already seen. If you don't follow me, you won't have seen it yet. It arrived today from Chris at the foundry. Mini Ranalahs. Paul, who originally did the 3D drawings for the Ranalah back in the day when we very first started, shrunk them down and 3D printed them. He spent quite a while putting fillets in and draft angles and bits like that. 3D printed them. I then spent an age painting it, sanding it, painting it, sanding it with high build to try and smooth the texture out. Got the proper little letters that are stuck on, little foundry letters that have got the draft angle built in, with tweezers sitting there sticking those on. That took ages. And went up to Chris and he's cast the first two. These eventually will be for sale. And I just wanted people that have followed along this journey that have no use for a Ranalah, no idea even really what they are, but want a little piece of the story. A little, maybe a desk paperweight or something silly you can have on your desk or your table. Back in the day when these Ranalahs were built, there were traveling salesmen that took things like mills, power hammers, all sorts of big machinery like this, and they went around and tried to sell them, and they would have a scale working model. There's a brilliant video out there of a working power hammer, which is amazing. And so it's kind of a little nod to that. Like if there was a Ranalah salesman now traveling around the country, he can't bring a main full-size Ranalah with him, so he can bring a little miniature one that's cast out of the same iron that the original ones, the big ones, are made of. And the next step is to speak with a model engineer to try and get all of the components that I've made for the big one made in miniature, basically. I'm trying my best to do it as cost effective as possible. We'll see how it goes, but that's a huge step first of all. So I thought you'd like that. Everyone out there can have their own affordable little mini Ranalah. Right, I better end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you've subscribed. I really appreciate it. It does help us out. I know it's all numbers and algorithms. I don't understand how, but it does. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. It's running. We've done it.